Almanza. And again, another takeaway by Ateneo. They go up top. Kurt Long goes to the other side. It's a scary team you're looking at right now as Martin finally knocks down the first field goal. Off the fast break, UP only with 5.
And that's because of the energy from the defensive end as Raba gives an assist to Jai.
19.
And we compliment his teammates for setting him up as Buenafel knocks the 3.
What a way to end the third quarter.
First, here's the school who just celebrated their centennial anniversary last year. They're the only team so far to beat both Ateneo and La Salle. Here's the starting 5 for the UP Fighting Maroons. At forward number 14, Martin Reyes. Power forward number 19, Carlo Gomez. Center number 10, Magic King Sison. Off guard number 20, Mark Lopez. And at point guard number 9, Mikey Reyes. The head coach of the Fighting Maroons, Salvador Amoy Castro. And now, celebrating their sesquicentennial 150th anniversary on December 10 of this year. Let's welcome the team on top of the heap, the defending champions, Ateneo de Manila Blue Eagles. At forward number 12, Kurt Long. Power forward number 17, Oping Sumalino. Center number 19, the reigning MVP, Rama El Husseini.
Well, here we go. The main event, Sunday showdown, UP and Ateneo. That's the starting 5 on your screens for Coach Aboy Castro and Coach Norman Black. Of course, Coach Aboy Castro, and I said this in the first game when they won over Ateneo, that to date, that is still his biggest victory so far in terms of the quality of the team that he beat. He beat La Salle, yes, this year, but he beat the defending champions Ateneo in the first round.
It says a lot about your program. I mean, if you can beat the top teams like Ateneo and La Salle, it's just an inch away, little by little, that you're going to make the Final Four. But key for UP right now is Adamson won earlier and garnered their 4th win. You don't want to lose this game and fall to 7th place. You're looking every year to improve your team's standings.
Exactly. I am looking out on how Ateneo will start this game, knowing what happened in the last game. The champions, whoever you are, whether they're the La Salles, the FEUs, Ateneos, when they get defeated by teams like that, you know they will never make the same mistake twice, or it's rare at least that they will. So it will be interesting how focused La Salle, or Ateneo rather, will come out today. They go inside to Sumalino, the lazy pass, taken away. Lopez against 4 blue shirts. Loses it. Carlo Gomez back from sick bay. Loses it to Jai. Jai off to Kurt. And Ateneo settles down. They're not a fast-breaking team, so they like to set it up at half court. They're looking to set Raba Al-Husseini, who's guarded by the muscular Carlo Gomez. Raba misses his first shot and a first foul, courtesy of Sumalino.
Coach Norman opting to start with Sumalino, a quicker team coming down probably. No Nonoy Baclao, no Nico Salva, and an interesting start for Sumalino, who hails from Cebu, has earned his way and earned his minutes here with the Blue Eagles.
They win today, they will try to take care of FEU on Saturday to end the second round. Gomez taken away by Sumalino on the spin cycle move. Kurt Long doesn't have the numbers, so he waits for more friends. Still no score here. Jai trying to change that, and he gets it to go.
I expect the Blue Eagles to smell blood and go all out for the kill. I mean, think about it. It was only UP that gave them their loss, and they got embarrassed there in the second half.
Season tracking it down with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Lopez looking for a roadblock, gets away. Rams into Raba Aluseni. Jai, long, forget about it.
2 times, UP came down. 2 times, turnovers and bad shots. Ateneo playing great defense. You know, you have to ask yourself, if you're Coach Abo, you come into this game, what else can you do to try to get some points on the board? Because Ateneo is going to have their game plan against the UP offense.
And here they go again. They go to the big man in the middle for the bang in the bucket. And a 7-0 run to start festivities here in the first quarter. And it's bringing the third member of our broadcast team when we go back after this Samsung timeout with Samsung Imagination Lives. Hang on. Jessica Mendoza will talk about the playoff run of Ateneo this year compared to last. Jessica, go ahead, please.
Boom, I asked Coach Norman Black yesterday how going into the playoffs this year compares to last year. As you said, he said it's a very different feeling trying to win a championship and trying to keep one. And this season, the Blue Eagles had to focus on 3 things in particular. First is conditioning. The Blue Eagles couldn't just be in good shape. They also needed to be fresh and energized at the start of each game, something they had a bit of trouble with the last time they faced UP. Second is the technical side, knowing what the other team is going to do and being ready to stop it. And third, the emotional side, which is making sure that the boys are hungry, motivated, and goal-oriented as ever, but that they take it one game at a time. And today, their focus is on winning against the UP Maroons. Boom and Luigi.
Thank you for the Samsung Courtside update, Jessica Mendoza. As we always say, you know this, it's a basketball cliche. It's a sports cliche. It's one thing to get on top, it's another thing to stay on top.
It's harder because you become the hunted right now. Boom. Check out this stat. UP 3 turnovers so far. Points off turnovers for Ateneo, that's 5.
5 of the 8 that they have. And to think Ateneo is the last team in terms of turnover points. But here you go again, the number 2 guy in terms of steals. Eric Salamat taking the candy away from the baby, and the baby commits the foul. Mark Lopez is called for that one. 4th member of our broadcast team from UP, Ricky Flores, comparing themselves to the less competitive UP team last year. Go ahead, Ricky.
Well, I certainly won't be reporting about UP entering the playoffs, but I also got a chance to talk to the coaches of the UP Fighting Maroons regarding the improvement of the performance this year as compared to last year. And you said it, Boom, an evident difference is the competitiveness that the Maroons are showcasing this season. In fact, Assistant Coach Puti Tavares said that last year, UP was the team na first quarter pa lang alam mong talo na. This year, they've been snatching leads, setting deadlocks, and surprising everyone by slaying the big teams in the league like Ateneo and LaSalle. This competitiveness will be pushed to the limit today as the UP team looks to beat, once again, the first out of 2 crucial opponents. Now I'm talking about Ateneo. Now, unlike last season, Coach Aboy will not settle for another 3-11 record. Boom.
Thank you very much, Ricky Flores, for the Samsung Courtside update. That's an unsportsmanlike foul called earlier, by the way, on Mark Lopez as we see the Alaksan FR 3-point shot. Body paint kahit saan, agad talab ang Alaksan FR. That's the first 3 points of this game. You tug on the uniform of a player, regardless of whether you hurt them or not, that is called an unsportsmanlike foul.
You know, you look now at Ateneo, they're up 10-0, and they're bringing their A game. Question now for UP, you cannot not bring your A game because they're gonna be punished and spanked completely. And that's the mindset that UP has to have, because are you satisfied with beating Ateneo and LaSalle once already in the first round?
And the thing about UP is I'm very sure of this, they know that Ateneo is going to come out strong today. They know they're going to come out after them, as we see Eric Salamat getting the step and the foul from Woodiko, seen rather. And our Smart Instant Replay, Smart, we're helping sports. As I said, a lot of people believe that this is the guy really who's crucial to this team. Talking about Eric Salamat, Raba Aluseni will be the man, the center of attention. There's no doubt about that. But Eric does everything for Ateneo, especially with Christian gone.
Well, the nice thing for Eric is he's not only a scorer, he does a little bit of everything. He gets a lot of steals. He's unselfish with the ball. He averages about 3 assists a game. And you know, the hard thing for Ateneo is, sure, they're deep in all angles, but they're sharing the basketball. They're playing team. There's a lot of teamwork involved. And it's hard. It's hard to get guys who are good one-on-one players to play as a team. Coach Norman has done a tremendous job through the years.
5 turnovers for UP. Now, you pointed this in the pregame, Luigi. One of the reasons why UP was able to beat Ateneo in the first round was they kept that turnover number down. They only had 14. And I remember the game that UP played before Ateneo, they had 32. So imagine the drop from 32 to 14. And that's one of the reasons why they did so well. Now, Ateneo on a 14-0 run.
And they have 4 turnovers today already. I mean, all in the first quarter. And that's 5 rather. 5. I mean,
Raba on the face-up jumper. Forget about it. The assist from Eric Salamat brought to you by PS Bank. Simple lang maaasahan. Now remember, Ateneo dropped a 28-0 bomb on NU not too long ago. So this is, we're halfway there, 14-0.
what's impressive is, okay, NU's okay, but I don't think they have the talent that UP has. And today, UP's down 14-1. And let's understand that Ateneo has a lot at stake. They want to get that #1 spot. Because that's bragging rights
That's the
also.
thing,
I mean,
that's the thing,
you know,
yeah.
it tests your character. You could choose who you want to play at 3rd or 4th,
If you want.
whether it be LaSalle, UST, or UE. But to come out on top and you're already in and still win says a lot about your team.
That's a great point, Luigi. As we see this substitution delivered to us by KFC, it's finger licking good. Plus, you know, coaches sometimes believe in the whole karma thing. Yung magpatalo tayo para mamili ng makakalaban. Doon ka sa dulo dadalihin yan.
They say, be careful what you wish for.
Yes, yes. Woodico is tripped of possession, but a foul is called, and Woodico will reunite with the free throw line where he was 1 out of 2. And we'll try to get UP.
But you see what Coach Norman's trying to do. He didn't put Baclao, he didn't put Salva on Woodico. He was putting Sumalinog because Woodico punished them for 3 3-pointers in that game. So he puts a quicker guy to offset Woody's 3. He wants Woodico to put the ball on the floor and have guys like Raba Al-Husseini helping out.
You saw the Smart Instant Replay. Smart, we're helping sports. Nico Salva in the ball game. Nico Salva, just a factoid here. In that game against Ateneo, against the UP rather, he was the only one who scored in the 3rd quarter. Remember, you mentioned that Ateneo only came up with 6 points in the 3rd quarter against UP. All those 6 points came from Nico Salva. The rest, nobody.
You know, I like Salva's progress here in his 2nd year with Ateneo. If you think about it, he's the forgotten man because you've got guys like Jai Reyes, Salamat, Raba Al-Husseini. And you know, he has been out playing even Buenafe. Buenafe had a better first year.
Yes.
And Buenafe's defense has dipped here in his 2nd year. Salva has been solid, contributing to Ateneo's cause.
Salva stays patient, gives it up to higher percentage shot. Braganza comes away with his first repossession of the game. 14-2. No field goal for UP. These are all free throws. Woody trying to change that. That will be a 2nd personal, I believe. Well, let's check if it's on Padilla. It's Padilla, so it's first. Alvin Padilla, who did not start for UP today. So still no field goal for UP.
Remember, Padilla in their last game had a little bit of, if I'm not mistaken, a hamstring pull.
Yep.
And that thing won't go away. That's a lingering injury.
Almost takes the ball away from Nico. Nico goes all the way, sets up Jai. Jai thought about it, goes inside to Nico Salva. Great communication between Reyes and the former San Beda Red Cub.
Very under control, Jai Reyes. A fake, not rushing, taking a dribble in and finding, rewarding Salva for flashing in the paint.
6 turnovers for UP so far. 9 points, 9 of the 16 of Ateneo coming from turnovers. As we look at this assist from Jai, brought to you by PS Bank, simple lang maaasahan.
That's very unselfish for you, Jai Reyes. A lot of poise there. You know, UP 6 turnovers. That last game they had 14, so they're almost at half already. And that's every time UP has lost, they have had a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, really, that's the truth. As Martin is offline with this 3-0 going for UP here. Past the 5-minute mark, we're already at 4:35 remaining in the first. 16-2, the defending champions looking to consolidate that #1 spot. Kirk Long with 15 seconds to work with.
Ateneo very patient on the offensive end, but very physical and aggressive on the defensive end.
Salamat for the floater, gets it up and in. And Eric Salamat with 6 points in the first quarter. And he is stoked in this ball game.
And UP looks lost. They don't just have an inch to breathe. I mean, every guy who has the ball is being played perfectly by the Blue Eagles.
Woodico with a tough shot. And an unsportsmanlike foul on Alvin Padilla, who was jockeying for position against Kirk Long. Everything going south for the UP Fighting Maroons.
That first time these two teams met in the first round, you felt that UP was dictating to Ateneo what to do. But let's see this slow-mo. Boom. Let's see what happens here. Kirk Long really sticks in and
Caught. Our smart instant replay. Smart, we're helping sports out position.
A bit of an acting job by Kirk Long, which you credit. It's not like Padilla really swung it hard. It was more of
But
gaining position.
But if you get strike above the
Definitely.
shoulders,
But what I'm saying is, if it's premeditated, normally it's a quick hit. This is more of a slow lean in, and I saw Long sort of fall down. But credit Long for that acting job. Basketball is acting on defense. They say, if you're not defending like a leech, then you're not playing defense. You have to get the goat of the guy you're defending.
19-2, under 4 minutes, and no field goals for the UP Fighting Maroons. Salva with a traveling infraction. Only the second turnover for Ateneo.
The Coach Aboy has seen enough. He's going to his zone defense. Ateneo's been on a tear against that man-to-man defense of UP. So Aboy changing it up and trying to find something that will click for the UP Maroons.
Look at that. Look at the defense up in the face of Arvin Braganza. And again, another takeaway by Ateneo. They go up top. Kirk Long goes to the other side.
Very unselfish by Salamat. He's making that happen. Normally, he would put the ball on the floor, make somebody commit, pass it. Saw Kirk Long and gave that assist.
Everything humming for the Blue Eagles. It's a scary team you're looking at right now as Martin finally knocks down the first field goal of the UP Fighting Maroons. It is a meek reply to this 21-point juggernaut of the defending champions. We got a timeout with Samsung. Imagination lives. We're back here at the arena in San Juan for our tip-to-top player matchup by Selecta Corneto. Tip-to-top Sarap. That's actually a good matchup. They are number 1 and number 2 in steals, Padilla and Salamat respectively.
Both of those guys, I feel like they're catalysts on their team because every time they're in, they bring a high level of energy. Question now for Padilla. We know he has a hamstring injury.
Now playing with 2 fouls.
Yep.
And sportsmanlike foul also, and a hand check call on Miggy Maniego. Problems continue crawl in and creep in for UP as you look at this. Open happiness with this reaction from Kirk Long and Coca-Cola. Open Coca-Cola, open happiness. Fast break points.
7 for Ateneo, and check this out. Points off turnovers, 11 for Ateneo. So you're talking about 18 points from transition, whether it's off a turnover or off a miss. And Ateneo has jumped the gun against State U.
And the funny thing, again, as I mentioned, Ateneo last in points off turnovers at 14.8 a game. So now they're up at 11. While this guy is spotless from the free throws so far. 5 out of 5. Eric Salamat with already 8 points off the 22 of Ateneo. 23-5 is the official score. Almost 2 minutes left here in the first quarter, and they have not been able to get up close talking about State U. Salamat finds Salva. Salva loves to operate underneath, just could not get it to stay down. Reyes will try again, pulls the trigger and gets it to go.
Reyes, the only bright spot for State U. And that's his second triple.
He averages 25% from downtown and gets them closer, 23-8. UP looking to make a run here towards the end of this first quarter, but Nico Salva over Mark Lopez.
Well, Salva's done a good job of cutting. Every time somebody has the ball, he makes it an effort to cut, and he has been rewarded here in this game.
UP has not made a 2-point shot yet. It's free throws and 3-point shots. Here comes another one. Braganza rattles it in.
So it's 3 out of 5 for State U. And you know, at least now they're answering Ateneo. Back and forth they go. This zone has at least helped UP so far. The thing is they have to get stops.
That's a great escape dribble by Jai Reyes. Just cannot get it to go down. Miggy is ahead. He's got Raba in front of him, so he cops out. Mark Lopez with a left-handed shot. Was a bit short. And Kirk Long comes away with his second rebound. Long sidesteps, goes all the way! 7 points from Kirk Jeffrey Long. Oh boy, everything dropping here for Ateneo.
You know, Coach Norman sticking with Long. A lot of questions were raised about Kirk Long offensively, but he did so many things defensively well. Now his offense is starting to click, and there he's getting the loose ball. Yeah, he's all over the court.
Jai waits for Kirk. Fakes the pass, gives it back to him. 17 under 24, actually. A differential of a second. Eric will try his hand at a 3 off the back iron. There is a chance for a last shot for UP. It's down to 7 seconds. UP, Braganza goes all the way, comes up short, the tap, and a foul at the end of the first quarter, unfortunately, for Ateneo, as Kirk Long picks up Arvin Braganza here. In the meantime, Raba and Eric, leading candidates of the Jollibee Yum Doubles duo, enjoy the best things in life. Biggest lead of the game was at 19, 21-2. And now, let's check out our Powerade Sports Drink Hyper Play of the Quarter. Drink a Power Up. Sports is what you make it. Boy, what a tough shot. Kirk Long comes up with a smile. 7 points for him. Arvin Braganza will try, but a little more points. I think they're checking here if the foul came before the buzzer, Luigi, if I'm not mistaken. And it looks like it is. Or it was, rather.
That's the advantage now that we have. The referees can talk it over, and we have a TV here on the side with our technical committee. And it's much more organized because this is an important call to make at the end of the first quarter.
Alaksan FR 3-point shot, body paint kahit saan, agad talab ang Alaksan FR. I'll say they put back 7/10 of a second. Being sharp here, the referees being very meticulous.
And
you pwedeng pabayaan yan,
you like that. You like seeing them improve. Not only has skills and coaching-wise improved in our country, even the referees, you have to give it to them technical-wise. They come prepared. In fact, before the games, these guys huddle and they check, they talk about things. They also have a pre-game ritual that they go through.
Referees Garcia, Zambrano, and Mariano, by the way, are joining us. Arvin Braganza, a chance here to get them a little bit closer. The captain for the UP Fighting Maroons gives them 12 points. Most of their points came from the free throw line and the 3-point shots of Martin Reyes and this guy also, Arvin Braganza, but they've settled down here.
So in other words, for Ateneo, it's take the threes, but nothing inside. No layup rule for them.
UP ends up, Luigi, shooting 21.4% in the first quarter. And that is partly, if not wholly, because of the Ateneo defense. Welcome back to the arena in San Juan for the live and exclusive coverage of the UAAP on Studio 23. Replays, by the way, today start at 6 p.m. on Balls Channel 34 because the US Open is ongoing. The second game is at 8 p.m. You're also watching us on high definition on Sky Cable Channel 166. Balls HD, if you are watching us there, good afternoon to you. Woody called for a turnover to start the second quarter. And When you talk about turnovers, 7 in the first, so that's 8 all in all. As Ryan Buenafe, back on Austria, Eman Montfort come in for Ateneo, who have filled up the arena in San Juan. 3/4 of this arena are made up of Ateneo faithfuls.
And these are their second stringers, huh? Think about bringing them up. That's a lot of firepower. Austria, Montfort, and Buenafe.
7 points for Raba Al-Husseini. 29-13, a 16-point lead. Padilla spots Woody Cove for 3. Woody is short. Great rebound by Miggy Maniego. Again, I've said this many times, he is used to playing underneath as a junior, a former juniors MVP for UBIS.
Buenafe is going to have to box him out. He's going to have his hands full.
You can't take that guy for granted underneath. And there you go. He takes away the possession from Buenafe. He knows how to defend the post because he really was used to that in high school.
And he's stocky, huh? For a guard. Here comes Lopez's favorite single high play.
He finds a spot, goes inside, draws the foul. Eman was a bit late on the help.
But they're looking to exploit Raba Al-Husseini, and they're letting his guys set the screens so he comes out.
Here's a clear position, stop, clear men, no dandruff. Just cool hair. Miggy Maniego taking it away. Raba Al-Husseini also sits down now. Frank Goya now in the ball game. Substitution delivered to us by KFC. It's finger licking good. Of course, Frank from the Ateneo Blue Eaglets program. Mark Lopez on your screens from the FEU Baby Tamaraos, a native of Pangasinan. He's a very athletic guy.
Goya was Ateneo and LaSalle were in a tug-of-war battle to get this prized big man, Goya. And we know that Goya did play, I think, for Coach Franz Pumaran in that RP youth team. In fact, he is the first cousin of Gab Banal, the son of Joel Banal, who also plays for the De La Salle Green Archers.
Yeah. UP trying to bounce back from their 21% shooting in the first quarter. They're down by 13. This is way better than the 19-point lead that Ateneo had. Eman Montfort shoots the 3 and he gets it to go. Instant offense from the pocket rocket.
And you notice it's not only one guy from Ateneo that's playing well, it's all those guys contributing.
Which speaks about the focus of the whole team. No, Luigi?
Because of the game that these guys lost to, you know that they see blood. And they're all going to bring the game in. It's just not one guy playing well for Ateneo, it's all of them.
Ryan will try his hand at a 3, nothing there. Lopez goes to his left, turns back, slides, gives it up to Braganza. Let's go to Jessica Mendoza right now from the Ateneo side. Go ahead, Jeff.
Boom, you guys talked about how Coach Norman must have thought out his game plan for today. Well, let me assure you, he has. He noted that when the Blue Eagles come in without any energy, they tend to execute badly and commit a lot of turnovers. So instead of training for days in a row like they did last time against UP, the team paced their practices this week, conserving their energy for today. And as to the competitiveness that Ricky said that UP is bringing to the floor today, well, Coach has warned the Blue Eagles, let's not celebrate too soon. We got to locate their guys immediately in order to stop them from scoring. Boom and Luigi.
Thank you for the Samson courtside update. I think the point here about UP also related to Jessica's report and Ricky's report earlier. As compared to last year or 2 years ago, UP somebody you'll really prepare for now and not take for granted, obviously, as compared to the previous years.
Well, they have
They
grown.
can beat you anytime.
They can beat you anytime, and they have grown. I mean, this team started out 0-14, but remember, in time they get better, and with maturity comes also the experience they get, and slowly but surely you will see them evolve as a team.
More from UP, from Ricky Flores on our Samson courtside update.
A very apt definition of basketball in the context of the UP Fighting Maroons is that basketball is a game of mistakes. The more mistakes you have, the bigger your chance of losing. Now after 7 turnovers, on the first quarter alone, Coach Aboy is desperate to reverse the first quarter mishaps, maximizing every timeout to make his players up. Now, Luigi, I know you're curious as to what Coach Aboy's game plan for today is, and it's simple. Good defense. Nothing special about Ateneo. They're just another team in the UAAP that they're looking to beat. But UP's defense is nothing to brag about right now as they've given Ateneo 11 turnover points and have gotten none for themselves. Lastly, Coach Aboy wants the Maroons to put extra pressure in the paint since Ateneo's shooting too high a percentage from that area. Boom.
Thank you, Ricky. And as she reports about better defense, they put together a couple of stops and a couple of three-point shots to cut this lead down to 12, courtesy of Arvin Braganza. We got a timeout with Samsung. Imagination lives. We're back here at the arena in San Juan. Arvin Braganza, 3 out of 6 from the field. He's smoking, he knows it. He's trying to cool his hand down. I suggest you don't do that just yet. Open happiness with that reaction and Coca-Cola, open Coca-Cola and open happiness.
But you like to see that if you're Coach Aboy. You start out with Reyes and you start with some other guys, and it's your second unit who's taking it to heart and playing good defense. And slowly but surely, this fighting Maroon team is coming back. They're only down by 12.
On three-point shooting at that, they are 5 out of 10 from beyond the arc.
And in 2 points, they're 1 out of 10. The threes have been working for them. But you have to ask yourself, how high percentage is that? And what is Ateneo's adjustment in terms of defending the pick and roll? Against Braganza, they've been stacking it, allowing Braganza to hit it. And they've been going under. The point guards have been going under, allowing him to take those three-point shots.
The handoff by Ryan Buenafe. It is a contrast of styles here. UP firing from the outside, Ateneo pounding it in the inside. 36-22. Mike Gamboa, the former Blue Eaglets, also in the ball game as Woodico tries his hand at the three. Salva climbs the ladder for his 4th repossession of the game. 4 rebounds already for Salva, quietly contributing for Coach Norman. Great box out by Alvin Padilla. Padilla sets up Woody. Martin has Pacon in front of him. Martin gets away, puts it in.
Nice move by the former LaSalle Zobel player.
36-24.
Here comes a trap by UP.
But they can't take it away. Salva goes to the spin cycle move.
You know, Nico Salva has a lot of a pro game to him. Started out with LaSalle Green Hills, transferred to San Beda, finds his way now to Ateneo. But this year has been big for Nico Salva.
And really up close, he is almost automatic there. 52% from that area. Look at the move. He gets the spin, and look at the finish. The extension of the finger roll. Big Tokyo, holy cow, play of the game. He knows it too. Big beefy goodness in 3 flavors. Holy cow, Tokyo beef bowls.
And what Lopez is in terms of improvement for UP, on the Ateneo end, if you're looking for one player who's come out this year, who's improved his game, it is Nico Salva.
Let's look at this assist, courtesy of Ryan Buenafe. Actually, it is an assist to Raba for the strong power move. PS Bank, simple lang, maaasahan.
You know, Padilla has not had an explosiveness. He has the ball now, but notice every time he has the ball, he's opting to pass and hand off. And you have to question how healthy is he.
Woodico again misses from the 3. And UP plays that zone once again. They're behind by 14, coming up on the 4-minute mark of the first half. Mike. Oh, that's an easy takeaway. Padilla gives it up to Gamboa. Gamboa overshoots this one. Padilla taps it to nowhere, and it is Ateneo ball.
See, just like that. Padilla had it. It was an open court. That's his favorite move, and he opts to pass. As we see, good defense here.
Clear position stop. Clear men, no dandruff, just cool hair. Manji seesawed stepping into the passing lane for a takeaway. A little more control here by UP, but still behind by 14. Salamat strokes a 3 off to the right. Martin Reyes tracks down his 3rd repossession of the game. Gamboa. We have directions here. Martin fires. That's short. For Martin Reyes, he is 3 out of 7 from the field now. Salamat goes to his strong side. What a dime to Ryan Buenafe. Cannot finish the play though. 3:10 remaining in the first half. Padilla burns rubber, gives up the pass. They swing it to Wudico. Wudico loses possession, retains it. Martin. They have 8 to shoot. Padilla decides to shoot a 3. Nothing there. And a foul called on Wudico. And for Woody, that is his second personal foul.
Sumalinog also had a good acting job that time.
UP Fighting Maroons call this timeout at the 2:54 mark, brought to you by Samsung with Samsung Imagination Lives. We are in the arena in San Juan. As you look at the C2 Best Cheer of the Day, enjoy the best in life with C2 Green Tea. Boom Gonzalez, Coach Luigi Trillo for the call of the game between Ateneo and UP. Jessica Mendoza and Ricky Flores for Ateneo and UP respectively. We're happy to have you with us on this great Sunday showdown. Main event between the defending champions and the UP Fighting Maroons, who are still looking to improve their team standing from last year, as Jai shoots the 3 and gets it to go. Great ball movement by Ateneo.
And what spacing by the Blue Eagles. Whether it's a zone or a man and they get it to the post, their spacing on the perimeter is exceptional.
Now, you talk about perimeter points. Ateneo's up there among the league leaders at number 3. Carlo Gomez tried to do too much, loses possession. Salamat, the best finisher on the break for Ateneo, and probably one of the best in the league in terms of finishing.
Ateneo is starting to peak right now and gearing up for the Final Four. I mean, talk about another turnover by UP, and very unselfish by Buenafe, giving it to Salamat for that end one play.
Smart instant replay. Smart for helping sports. By the way, that was the 13th assist of Ateneo already. UP only with 3 in the game, and UP is the #1 team in the assists department. So Ateneo is at least #2 there, but UP really not moving the ball well today. They only have 3 in the game.
You feel like Ateneo scouted them well because there's no ball rotation and no open looks. They've handled the point of attack of UP. Again, another steal. And when I mean point of attack, Boom, is the guy with the ball from UP is not able to attack. Right there and then, you have an Ateneo Blue Eagle who is stopping the point of attack, not allowing that drive and kick of UP, which is their offense.
Baga sakali, hindi ka makaporma.
Hindi ka makaporma, you cannot enter, and Ateneo's established that. On the other end, Ateneo firing away because of the good spacing and the passing.
Alaksan FR 3-point shot, body paint kahit saan, agad talab ang Alaksan. 3 turnovers for UP here in the quarter, 5 turnover points. That's the big thing, as Buenafe unable to get it to go. 12 fast break points for Ateneo, UP none. They have not been able to get themselves going here. And we're down to a minute and 25. This is a 20-point lead, and Braganza comes up short. And again, Ateneo now on the run. 4-on-2. Possession taken away by Braganza. They have a 3-on-2 on the other side. Martin cocks up the 3, gets it to go! The bang in the bucket, and an unsportsmanlike call at that. So that means UP will retain possession after the free throw.
This is the hard thing, okay, on a transition. When you're chasing the guy off a 3, normally coaches will teach, here you'll see it, the pass will come out, Sumaligo will come out, he has proper hand up, but his foot is on the landing space of Martin Reyes. You have to ask yourself, is that, if you're gonna call that as a unsportsmanlike foul? Because coaches teach that, to run out on a player.
Well, we saw that on our Smart Instant Replay. Smart, we're helping sports. A minute and 9. Martin Reyes, 3 out of 6 from beyond the arc, 1 out of 2 from within, and he misses the 4-point play opportunity, but he will get UP rather will get possession here, but what a missed opportunity. That can be like a 6-point swing or 7-point swing.
Yeah. But you know, coaches even now, when you're chasing out 3-point shots, normally they even want you to fly out. Do not even make him attempt. You want him to drive and have help defense on the baseline.
Nico Salva and Raba Luceni are Jollibee Yum Doubles dual leading candidates. Enjoy the best things in life. Martin misses the runner. He saves it, but he saves it to Buenafe. So we're down to 50 seconds here. A 17-point lead, and Ateneo has been in control. They started off with a 14-0 run. And a foul will be called on Maggie Seesaw. Nico Salva trying to get the retrieval, and he was held down. Let's look at that, what you were talking about.
Thank you, Direk Al Neri. That's what I'm saying. When you come out and you chase, you don't want to land on his landing stone. You want to chase him out completely and make shooters put the ball on the floor.
Down to 38 seconds here. Ateneo possession. They go to the other side. Eric Salamat. Out to Jai. Loads up the three. Gets it to go! And Jai has 3 triples in the ball game. Sends another one home. And erects another 20-point lead.
The first time in the first round when Statey was playing defense at the post, Rabat didn't have a feel of things. Now in the second round, he's got a better feel of it. He's able to swing it around, and they're making the extra pass.
Woodico again draws the foul, and he will take 2 free throws at the 6.9 second mark here. Powerade Sports Drink Hyper Play of the Quarter. Drink up, power up. Sports is what you make it. Eric Salamat salutes the crowd once again. It's become his trademark move already here.
Well, these guys have gone on it in the NCAA juniors before.
Yeah.
Braganza for San Beda and obviously Salamat with San Sebastian. In fact, Bringas, Buenafe, and Salamat
All
were
from-
teammates from San Sebastian.
Austria now coming in from the Ateneo Blue Eaglets. It's Miggy Maniego on your screens from the UPIS High School, and Herman Monfort comes back for Ateneo. He is from, of course, Ateneo de Iloilo.
I was mistaken before. I said he was from Negros, but he is from Ateneo
Si,
de Iloilo.
And si Nonoy ang from West Negros.
They are very, very proud of Monfort.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of exceptional players actually to come out from Iloilo. You have James Yap also. You have Ken Bono. You have Monfort now, to name a few.
Woodico takes the 2 free throws. Woodico, by the way, is number 3 in PPG's points per game at 14.6. Former Rookie of the Year. Probably also gunning for the 6th man of the year. Salamat navigates his way through traffic and in the nick of time puts it up and in. And again, for the nth time, hears it from the crowd.
You like his cockiness, but he has the game to back it up. Here, check this out. In between, finds a way. And check out the salute after.
Open happiness with this reaction and Coca-Cola, open Coca-Cola, open happiness. Yes, sir, says Eric Salamat as they re-establish the biggest lead of the ballgame. 49-29. Eric Salamat, 3 out of 6 from the field, 13 minutes, 13 points, 4 assists, and all the other intangibles, including probably mopping the floor at the same time. He's capable of doing that, that's for sure. Yun na nga lang yata ang hindi pa niya ginagawa sa first half para sa Ateneo. In the meantime, the Jollibee champ of the game, who else? He is the leading candidate. Big burger goodness like no other. And one of the better finishers on the break. Eric Salamat, 13 points in 13 minutes. You cannot get more efficient than that. We'll take a break. We will be back with halftime here at the arena in San Juan.
Samsung, imagination lives. Catch more of them at the Samsung UAP Cheer Dance competition on September 13 at the Araneta Coliseum. Stay tuned for more of your UAP Season 72 only here on Studio 23.
Thank you very much for checking us out today on a Sunday showdown between Ateneo and UP. Score is at 49-29. With UP now the first crack at the basket here in the second half. The lead was at 20. UP able to cut it down to 12. And then Ateneo, courtesy of Eric Salamat, re-erected the 20-point lead. And a turnover to start the third quarter here at the arena.
Coach Aboy fuming. You know, you want a mindset coming into the second half. You saw the mistakes in the first half. 0-14 in favor of Ateneo. A lot of turnovers from UP. I'm sure they talked about some things in the locker room to try to avoid those turnovers. Remember, there were 5 in the first 4 minutes of play for the Fighting Maroons.
Long. Al-Husseini missing his first attempt here in the second half. We welcome back our Studio 23 audience at the score of 49-29. 57 seconds already went by here in the third quarter. You missed a turnover by UP to start the third quarter. Rabah Al-Husseini missed his turnaround, and here I believe is a bang in the bucket opportunity. Rabah extends the knee. Maggie Season converts on the undergoal stab. Caught on our Smart Instant Replay. Smart, we're helping sports.
That foul by Rabah, a bit hilaw, they say. But you know what? If you hear the whistle, you don't want Season going N1. There was continuity there for Season, and this should probably increase his confidence. The Season has played okay, but nothing exceptional here in the second round. And
all right, right now, Luigi at the 9:03 mark. Let's check out what happened at the locker room of Ateneo. Samsung courtside update with Jessica Mendoza.
Coach Norman Black is a coach who likes to play by percentages, which is why he told the boys earlier, do not fall in love with three-point shots. This is in response to the 12 outside attempts that the Blue Eagles made in the first half. Now, as much as possible, coach wants to keep to what really works for them, which is points off the penetration and from the inside. Now, you guys must be wondering why Nonoy Baclao seems to be sitting out today's game. Well, the PTs told me that they are resting his injured hand for next game against FEU, but that he can play if he's needed on the court today.
Thank you for the Samsung courtside update, Jessica. Number one is that consistent to what Jessica said, they run UP on the ground or to the ground and get the points. And number two, we totally forgot about Nonoy Baclao, and that's how good Ateneo played in the first half, that he was not even missed.
well, you know, it's an opportunity to play for Sumalino. And, you know, he has risen to the occasion. He's played exceptional defense. He's run the floor well. He's gotten a couple of baskets for Ateneo. And they played inspired basketball. Sometimes when you're injured, it brings out the best in your team.
There's an assist courtesy of Woody Ko, brought to you by PS Bank. Simple lang maasahan. Baclao, he'll miss the number 2 shot blocker of the league and also number 2 in field goals attempt. Nonoy Baclao will rest out today. Usually gives you 26 minutes on the floor. As Rabah misses the undergoal stab and Maggie Season clears it. Rabah again crying for a foul. 51-33, 18-point lead.
They kept it secret about the Baclao thing because we saw him in the warm-ups going at it and shooting.
And he still suited up.
And there have been times where Coach Norman does not use Baclao as we see this great defense.
A clear man, clear precision stop, clear man, no dandruff, just cool hair. Coaches love to do that. They just want to make you guess, make the opponents guess in terms of the lineups. I even if one player is out with injury, they don't really trumpet the injury as Eric Salamat takes possession. Mark Ruena, former juniors MVP, also in the ball game now for UP. And Alvin Padilla, number 1 in steals, breaks up that play. UP still unable to make any kind of headway, and the line drive shot by Arvin Braganza doesn't work. 3-on-1. Salamat finishes on the other end. And the salute from Reyes to Salamat. It's become a running gag already for the Blue Eagles.
They gotta keep on playing and focus on the defense, because that's what got them this lead.
And they're really lording it over the fast break department as Maggie Season was forced to shoot the 3, does not connect. Ateneo, not really a running team. They are number 3 in that department, but today 18 points off the fast break, UP only with 5.
And that's because of the energy from the defensive end as Raba gives an assist to Jai.
And the biggest lead of the ball game for the defending champions who are looking to secure at least a playoff for number 1. Let's go to a timeout with Samsung Imagination Lives. This is the biggest lead of the ball game. 56-33. Jai Reyes, 57% from the floor. Let's find out what happened to UP as they're down 23. Ricky Flores will give us an update. Ricky.
All right, let me tell you guys what happened at the half. The first thing that Coach Aboy said as he walked into the dugout was, "We've come back from bigger leads than this." You know, and he was filled with so much emotion in the dugout that he broke his whiteboard marker by throwing it on the floor. And you know what, Coach Aboy, like Coach Norman Black, wants the boys to stop wanting to pull up for threes. Despite their 13 attempts in the first half, Coach Aboy wants them to keep attacking and be more aggressive. Now I'm talking about the 2-point field goals. Now, last Thursday when UP went up against UE, they had a 30-13 run in the third quarter. Coach Aboy is hoping that, like that game, the Maroons find their magical groove in this period. Boom.
Thank you very much for the Samsung courtside update. Ricky Flores, it is down to 19, so they made a couple of baskets here. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm checking it right now, I think the biggest deficit, since Ricky was talking about that, is Eric Salamat nails a circus shot. I think the biggest deficit for UP was 30 points against UST. They came back, they put it down to 3, and they lost by 5 eventually as Alvin Padilla goes to the bank on a Sunday and deposits a triple.
Well, you have to ask yourself, every quarter you've been beaten points-wise from 14 to 20, and at one time Ateneo was leading by more than 20 points. So you have to lick your wounds and play some defense. The problem is Ateneo has so much energy, and they're playing with so much passion right now.
And even Sumarino has gotten into the end.
That, you know, has UP dug a hole too deep to try to get out of it, because Ateneo is bringing their A game.
As we've said in many coverages, Luigi, many years, coming back is not only physically taxing, it is mentally taxing too. And of course, there is a time aspect. As we look at this substitution delivered to us by KFC, it's finger licking good there. Down to 4 minutes and 13. Of course, we have a whole fourth quarter ahead of us. And as the saying goes, we've seen stranger things happen in the UAAP. But it's got to start on the defensive end. They cannot trade baskets with Ateneo at this juncture.
And not against a team that has something at stake for the Final Four. You notice in the first game today, Adamson UST, Adamson right for the gun, controlled the tempo and sent a message to UC, putting the pressure on UST. From Ateneo's standpoint, when it rains it pours. Salamat hits the 3, but they went up to a 14-0 start, and that was that.
Salamat continues to sparkle for Ateneo, knocks down the 3. Arvin trying to take it back, misses everything. Saraba saves it to the wrong person. Woody Cole puts it up and in. And Sumalino picks up some scraps as he gets himself up. 63-44, 3:20 right now It is just that, trading baskets with a team that was up by 23. Not a good idea. Raba on the face-up, misses everything, claiming he was fouled. They run, he loses track of Maggi season, and that's what happens when you complain sometimes, Luigi.
That's why Norman's furious. Coach Norman's saying, you know, don't worry about the call of the ref. Get down, play defense on a dead ball, then Raba can question the referee's call. But you don't stop and complain right there.
Jai for the crossover three, and he sends that baby home once again. Jai Reyes is on fire here today. 5th triple of the ball game, and right now, 15 points.
And it's Reyes against Reyes. I wonder if they're related some way.
I doubt it, but it's a good question.
But you know, Jai has brought his A game against the younger Reyes.
Open Happiness with this reaction. And Coca-Cola, Open Happiness. 63% from beyond the arc today for the former Ateneo Blue Eaglet hotshot. Timeout with Samsung Imagination Lives. So, going back to what I said, Luigi, in terms of the chase a UP that made, the biggest lead that they had to chase. They did not win this one. I said earlier 30, I was wrong, it was 31. They lost the game by 5. They cut that lead down to 3, but they lost the game at 5. But how many times can you do that? Right? That's the other question.
And you're playing the #1 team right now in terms of,
You're right.
you know, wins and losses in the defending champions. You're not going to be down 20 and then try to catch up against his team.
As Martin Reyes continues to shoot well from the three-point area, that is his 4th triple. He is 4 out of 7 from beyond the arc today, cutting the lead down. 66-49. A minute and 37 to play in the 3rd quarter for the main event of your Sunday showdown. Reyes from the corner gets it to go!
You know, they've been finding Jai Reyes at the weak side of the court. Not once, not twice, but about 5 times. And Jai has been spacing himself up. He's been catching and shooting and knocking that jumper every time.
6 out of 9 as Mikey Reyes tries to attempt a 3.
Got blocked by Salamat.
Salamat closing out the way you want him to close out. Raba! No way. There's a little bit of a commotion going on in the stands. And they're halting play here because there's something that happened upstairs. And Arvin Braganza has rushed up there from the other side of the floor. So we're trying to find out what went on there. I don't know if somebody lost consciousness. I see.
Let's hope not. But Braganza is there, so that's probably
His
somebody he's
relative,
close
yeah.
to.
I see his girlfriend also rush up to the UP side of things. We always, of course, you know, I think
They're going to have to move
They
him
should-
if he's unconscious.
they
Yeah,
should-
they should give him some space to breathe.
exactly they should not.
And some of the physicians should come up from the respective teams to try to help him out.
All right, apparently Dr. Canlas is already up there.
Of Ateneo helping out to see.
Now, obviously, you know, the game takes a back seat
Definitely.
when it comes to situations like these.
And you want to see that because you show that people care. And let's hope nothing serious here.
Yeah, well, we hope and pray that it is nothing serious. Sometimes the excitement gets to a lot of people here, whether we are in the Araneta or here at the arena. They're busting out soda here at the arena, and they're bringing out the stretcher, if I'm not mistaken. And now we see the Ateneo side. They're in a huddle. They're saying a little prayer for whoever is up there. We don't even know. Well, we assume it is from the UP side because Braganza rushed up. We have the people from Spark, from FEU, who are the hosts of season 72 of the UAAP. And they're taking care of it. And we don't want to speculate right now what's happening, but we hope that everything is okay up there in the stands, as we said, in situations like these, the game is just a game now. And from the UP side, hope that everything's okay. We are at the arena in San Juan. We also have a few officials there from ABS-CBN Sports. You see
It seems like the guy is okay from what I see there. You're starting to bring him out and maybe get fresh air and bring him also to the hospital, I would presume.
That's why they're putting him on the stretcher right now. The medic from both the arena and from the hosts, the FEU Tamaraos here. Of course, that is the number one thing that we always think about. It's the safety of everybody watching.
Exactly, that comes first and foremost. And he did stand up.
Yeah.
No, he did stand up, and then they put him, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Let's hope and pray that he does get better.
And I'm sure there are some relatives.
He should be a relative of Braganza, because Braganza came from the other side of the court to come up and check.
And I'm sure there are relatives watching on TV who obviously probably are more worried because they can't be here in the venue. I guess we'll try to keep you updated on the condition of the man we still don't even know, but obviously we assume from the father of Arvin Braganza. All right, we just found out from Ricky Flores, the father of Arvin Braganza. So we say a little prayer for him, and hopefully he will be okay.
I don't know if his son is still here, but I think he would accompany him to the hospital, definitely.
I would. Yeah, we would assume
There's no way
he would stay in the game with this one. It's so hard now, if you're UP or even if you're Ateneo, as this, of course, we all have to go back to the game. It's so hard to get your
mind
head back into the game, whether you're the one leading or you're the one chasing. You've been a player, you've been a coach, Luigi. How do you approach a situation like this?
Well, you like what Ateneo did. They huddled, they said a prayer, because as a team, that's probably the best that you can do. And you can say a prayer and then focus in again. UP was more a different tone because it was their teammates, so...
All right, we're back to business here at 71-51. The lead down to 20 as Mark Lopez, who, by the way, has been absent in terms of being a factor for the UP Fighting Maroons. But they take to the lane.
You think about Ateneo. What have they taken away in this game? Lopez and Ko, 15 points apiece the first time around they met. This game, they've taken away Ko's 3, and they've stopped Lopez. And both those guys have not shown today from the defense of Ateneo.
Oping Sumalinog and Jai Reyes combined for the candidates of the Jollibee Yum Doubles Duo. Enjoy the best things in life. Everybody jam-packed here at the arena in San Juan. The excitement level getting to some people. You know, that's the UAAP. It's pure passion. It's pure heart, it's pure passion.
See, with all sincerity, you see UP in the dead ball when they were in the huddle. All of a sudden, they're down by 20. You see the fans of UP still screaming UP fight, and that's nice. I mean, if I'm a player from UP, you feel, you know, like you have to try to come back in the game when you've got loyal fans like that.
Raba Aluseni moves out. Justin Chua comes back in. Mark Lopez misses or loses possession of that ball. He gets hacked as he will probably go to the line with 14.6 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. I know this guy. Carlos Agregado, Apiton built body to increase body mass. Apiton, he is from Ateneo. Jai Reyes will move out. And by the way, Luigi, Jai Reyes has just tied his teammate Eman Montfort for most three-point shots made in a game this season. 6 out of 9. Eman Montfort also 6 out of 9 back in July 19.
And you compliment his teammates for setting him up as Buenafel knocks the 3.
What a way to end the third quarter for the defending champions.
You know, I was just about to say that UP, on a positive note, out-battled Ateneo point for point, but not after the 3. Ateneo outscored, outpointed UP by 2 in that third quarter after that 3.
And established the biggest lead of the ball game, 76-51, a 25-point lead. As we look at the Powerade Sports Drink Hyper Play of the quarter, why not end the quarter with a 3-point shot? Drink Up Power Up Sports. Watching us on high definition on Sky Cable Channel 166, Balls HD. Fourth quarter is underway, and Alvin Padilla sneaks through, gets it up and in. Make it 76-53.
What else can you do if you're Coach Aboy Castro? You're down by 23. You know, every quarter you've been out-energized and out-pointed. And, you know, it's not only one guy doing the damage. I mean, it's everybody contributing. Even Montfort now and Buenafe have scored.
As we welcome back our Studio 23 audience, you're watching us live and exclusive, courtesy of ABS-CBN Sports. A 3 just made earlier by Eman Montfort. Also, Alvin Padilla made a conversion earlier that brings us to our quarter scoring, and Ateneo lording it over. Look at the production that they've had in 3 quarters.
Every quarter outpointing and outscoring the UP Fighting Maroons. UP though, in a bright spot, 13, 16, and 22. So every quarter they have built. The question is that you gotta play defense to come back in the game.
Ateneo is not really a high-scoring team. In fact, they're number 5 in scoring. But hey, they'll take it if this is what UP is giving them right now. A shootout, 79-55. Let's go to Jessica Mendoza for more from the defending champions.
Boom, here at the fourth quarter, Coach Norman Black wants to see the same enthusiasm, the same intensity that the Eagles had at the start of the game. Don't let up on defense, he said, adding how many times have we been burned on fast breaks. He pointed out, as you guys did earlier, that the Maroons have made easy baskets while the boys were arguing with referees or celebrating their shots. Now, Coach appealed to their focus, reminding them that the easiest way to score is to move the basket around. Boom and Luigi.
Thank you very much. Jessica Mendoza for the Samsung courtside update. Eman Montfort, the free throw line now.
Well, Coach Norman does not want his players to let their guard down because, okay, fine, you've got a 27-point lead now, but it doesn't mean you have to lower your guard. As a team, you want to be consistent and play defense 100% every possession.
Padilla barges through, is checked by Nico Salva, and commits a turnover at the same time.
Padilla doesn't have the explosiveness he's had. His last game, he pulled his hamstring. That was the first time I saw him take it strong. Here you'll see he has not the same lift that he's had before.
That's a shot block brought to you by Rexona. Use Rexona after every bath. Ricky Flores now will give us an update from the UP side of things. Go ahead, Ricky.
I asked Coach Petit what they were doing right so far, and this is what he said. We are just exchanging baskets with Ateneo, and unless we play defense, we're doing something right. He's talking about the important rebounding and important ball stops that have to be done. I'd like to talk about Arvin Braganza real quick since I got to have a chat with him before the game. This is his last Ateneo UP game, and he was the most pumped up Maroon before the game even started. He said he was going to go all out. Unfortunately, he will not be back in this ball game for understandable reasons. Boom.
And he shouldn't be. Thank you very much, Ricky Flores, for the Samsung courtside update. He did try to do as much damage as he could when he was on the floor as a captain. 13 points. He hustled, but unfortunately, of course, something happened to the father, and more important things in life than this game for him. As we look at our Greenwich Pare Sobrang Cheesy Moment, new extreme cheese pizzas for men, meaty for the boys. The backcourt tandem of Salamat and Reyes exploding here in the ballgame. Mike Gamboa now quarterbacking for the UP Fighting Maroons, who are down 55-82. Alvin Padilla will go to the line for 2 free throws.
You know, Boom, at the start of the coverage, we were questioning if UP would come out strong. And right from the start, Ateneo just set the tempo and exploded 14-0. And you know, you have to ask yourself that when you come into a game and you beat a team, a #1 team, and you upset them, I felt the game was done right from the start when Ateneo went up 14-0.
Earlier, you saw our Haynes cool couple of the game. That was Veronica and Kevin, both from UP. Haynes, America's #1 brand of underwear.
Now these are mostly the second stringers from the Blue Eagles. You don't have Baclao, you don't have Raba Al-Husseini, Jais on the bench, and Eric Salamat as well. So this is the second unit of Coach Norman Black.
Buenafe underneath to Justin Chua. And Gingerich able to get down the rebound. Padilla from up top. That rattles out. He is 3 out of 6 from the field. 26 minutes, only 8 points. For Alvin Padilla, you are assuming that he is struggling with his injury. As we look at this Jack and Jill fantastic moment. This was during halftime earlier. Jack and Jill snacks, life's fun, and everybody getting into the action here in the UAP. Hey, you're up 25 points.
In
Why
the shower room, huh?
You're up 25 points. You do whatever you want.
That's what you call confidence.
Padilla trying to break down the Sumalino defense. Padilla been off 3 out of 7 from the field as we speak. 6:27 remaining. Again, Luigi, for people who are just tuning in now, let's recap the importance of the game for Ateneo.
Well, with this Ateneo win, it will assure them of at least a knockout for the
Number one.
Number one, assuming that, let's say, FEU wins against Ateneo and wins their other game as well. But the key game, I still think, for Ateneo is they just have to take care of business and beat FEU next week.
Secure the number 1. They already have, by the way, as we see Sumalino here holding on to his jaw. Ateneo already has the twice to beat advantage for those people who are wondering. It is whether they're number 1 or number 2 that is still being contested. As we look at this assist to Mariah. Brought to you by PS Bank. Simple lang, maaasahan, cutting the lead down 82-59. But the defending champions have really played like champions.
Actually,
you can argue, Luigi.
It says a lot about Ateneo, character-wise, because they could have lost this game. And, you know, they play FEU next, and that's the important game. They have to get that game against FEU. But, you know, Coach Norman says a lot. He came in here, and he made them play 100%. Let's see this replay as
Padilla gets Sumalino in the jaw.
I don't know if Ateneo's being taught this because Sumalino and Long have gotten a lot of elbows from UP. And do they come near the elbow to get those calls towards them, favoring them?
Padilla able to get it up and in. Cutting the lead down to 21. Biggest lead of the ball game was at 27. Bangon Austria. They swing it to Eric. Space and all day to shoot. And he gets it to go. He shakes his head and says, "You cannot leave me that open. Are you kidding me?"
A lot of confidence from Salamat, but you have to question yourself. It's in him. He's that type of player. But you don't want to brag too much. I mean, you want to do it on the court. He's done that.
It's an offensive foul called on Kevin Astorga. But you know what? You can say, people will say these things about Eric Salamat. But I don't think until his college days are over.
That's him.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
Actually, I was speaking to my brother, Paolo, who's the team manager of Ateneo, and he spoke to Eric, and he said, you know, you can come out and you can salute all you want, but to our side, to the Ateneo side, you don't want to egg the other side because it just shows that you're mayabang and it's uncalled for. It's like you're boasting.
Which he used to do.
Which he used to do. So Paolo did say to him, said, hey, you want to give high fives, go ahead to your teammates, but don't taunt the opposing team and the fans of the other team.
That's a great...
Because you have to show some class.
Great advice, great advice. Ryan Buenafe with a denial on Mike Gamboa's drive. We check it out again. Rexona shot block. Use Rexona after every bat.
Gamboa out of the Ateneo High School program, who played for Coach Jamay.
Who's still coaching the juniors, by the way. They won earlier against UE, if I'm not mistaken. Earlier this morning. That's
they're
how
in the Final
Yeah.
Four.
They were
Well, my
here.
alma mater, my high school, Zobel is at first right now, who is coached by Boris Aldeguer. Boris did coach Martin Reyes.
you
and
just
Simon
you just had to put that in.
Of course.
Just for Boris, of course, doing a great job. And Zobel is Raba Aluseni with the bang in the bucket. An unsportsmanlike foul called on Kevin Astorga. Obviously not appreciated by the reigning MVP. If looks could kill, as they say.
Raba's just got to focus in. I mean, he's that good now. He's won an MVP. And at the start of the season, he was getting a bit bothered by some of the opposing players because they come out hard against him. Here you'll see Astorga hammer Raba on the cheek.
May hatak pa eh. Kaya tinawagan na ng referee. Actually, the referee I saw, he was just going to call a foul. But when he brought down his hand, humabol yung referee and just decided to give it an unsportsmanlike.
And what did Coach Norman do? He went straight to Raba and said some words. I'm sure his thing was focus and if you want to put some hurt on UP, you show it on the court.
And
You
do
build that lead to
do it on the
30 or
scoreboard.
40 if you can.
88-64, the reigning MVP quietly has 16 points in this ball game. But Ateneo is led by Arik Salamat, who, by the way, has a career high already with 23 points. Arik Salamat's previous high was at 18 last year. Now it's at 23. Buenafe initiates and creates and finishes at the same time. Everything going for the Blue Eagles, and the body language of the Fighting Maroons not looking good right now, Luigi.
Definitely not. And in fact, Coach Aboy bringing in his second stringers, Astorga, Gamboa.
And look at this strong power move. PS Bank, simple lang, maaasahan. And Ateneo looking to put the hammer down on the Fighting Maroons, who are just right now outclassed. Substitution brought to us, delivered to us by KFC. Its finger looking good. Justin Chua unable to stop Kevin Astorga.
Just to show you how strong Ateneo is, you look at this second five they have. Well, Jai Reyes is in Salamat, but you've got guys like Austria, Chua, Buenafe. I mean, they have really gotten a lot of recruitment-wise the better players in high school.
Now Jai Reyes is in the game. Interesting fact here with 3 minutes and 21. If he scores another 3, he will have the most three-point conversions in the UAP since they started computerizing statistics back in 2003. Right now he is 6 out of 9, and we have a lot of players who have 6 conversions in the last 3 years. Monfort was part of that. Tata Bautista, Barua, Francis Aliera, Kasim Mirza, even James Martinez are all at 6. They're all tied at 6. If Jai makes one more, he will hold the record.
Well, unfortunately, they took him out. I don't think Coach Norman knows. If Coach Norman knew that, I bet he would set him up.
You think so? How about Wami Chongson? This is the 3. And Michael Goa speeding to the other side, unable to finish. Kevin Astorga hauling down the repossession. Mix de Asis comes in and comes up short on the 3.
You know, this game is more or less academic and over already, boom. But think about this. If Ateneo finds a way to get first place, let's say they get FEU. For fourth, you've got UST and LaSalle. And UST is definitely not out of the woods. They have to go by UE, which is tough. And if they lose against UE, LaSalle plays NU, considering that the Green Archers beat NU. Then you're looking at a knockout, which is UST LaSalle for the 4th spot, and it's not far-fetched that it could be another LaSalle Ateneo semi-final.
Alaksan FR 3-point shot, body paint kahit saan. Agad talabang Alaksan.
You can never count the Green Archers out. You look at their chances. It looked slim with that loss to FEU the other day.
And then UST loses today.
But UST got hammered by Adamson.
And it's not going to be easy because UE is going to be their next opponent.
I'll tell you, they didn't just lose to Adamson. They got hammered.
Yeah, which is not good for their morale.
So you're talking about how Coach Pido will come back and try to motivate his guys because he knows his back is against the wall. And he's had his chances to close that Final Four out. And, you know, the body rhythm losing that big is going to test Coach Pedro.
And more just tremendous pressure on that UST
and
team.
UST also as well.
It's 91-66 because De Chavez is now in. And the starters have moved out, obviously. As we also see Mami Chongson, as I mentioned, Tonino Gonzaga also, all from the Blue Eaglets. As Mix from the De La Salle Zabel program misses on the long two. Ateneo shooting 52.4% so far in this game.
You know, you shoot 52.4% when UP turns the ball over, and you've gotten a bunch of turnover points and fast break points because that's those layups over there. It's not like Ateneo had a half-court game. They established their offense by running every time UP faltered on the offensive end.
Kevin Astorga, formerly from the IS Manila, gets it up and in over Vince Burke, who now sees action for Coach Norman Black. Then Chavez long on the three. And Gamboa tracks down the repossession. We are down to 2 minutes and 13 seconds here in this ball game. And everything obviously settled except for the final score. UP still has a chance to better their team standing. As we give you our last 2 minutes, brought to you by PS Bank, simple lang maasahan, as they still have a game to play.
Well, the past few years, UP and Adamson have been tied for 7th and 6th place, and there's been no change there in the past 3 years. NU has been in 8th. So if you're Coach Abo, you're also looking to improve your record, wins and losses, and placing. And Adamson has one up on them. Right now, they're 1 game ahead of UP because Adamson has 4, UP has 3.
In the meantime, that was our Powerade Sports Drink Hyper Play of the Quarter. Drink up, power up, sports is what you make it. That was Ryan Buenafe. 91-70. And, you know, going back to the report of Jessica Mendoza in the first quarter about the playoff run, the difference this year, difference last year, that's not what I want to touch on. But going back to preparations for the playoff, Ateneo looks really sharp right now.
Well, they look sharp. They are the defending champions. People asked me about this. They were worried about Chris Chu's loss. And they said, you cannot replace the leadership of Chris Chu. But because of the recruitment of Ateneo and their solid first 5, you know, you build. Those guys are going to get better. Plus, you're bringing back the reigning MVP, which is Raba. You have to take into consideration teams like UE and LaSalle. Like LaSalle lost Mario Hoffer and Casio. So in terms of experience, Ateneo has it. And, you know, you have to question that. FEU's looking good. UE is looking good. But experience-wise in a finals, Ateneo's been there. FEU has not.
And then the thing about UAP basketball, or college basketball in general, Luigi, really, that's the beauty of the game. Transition of talent, transition of the kind of material that you work with, the successful winning traditions here in the UAP, FEU, LaSalle, and now Ateneo getting back into the elite, really with championships now being won. That's been the secret. It's not only about this year, it's about looking down the road, second year, third year in a program, and that's what UP's intentions are with Coach Aboy Castro. This is, you know, the program that is being put in place, and you want to see improvement every year, regardless of school, regardless of program. And you know, you'll always worry. You lose
I never thought I'd compliment Ateneo because I'm from LaSalle. I'll be honest, Paul is from there, but you look at
it's okay, it's his birthday. Come on. Give him a
today.
break.
Happy birthday to him.
Cut the guy some slack, Luigi. Let's give credit where credit is due. But then, I mean, I'm talking in general. When you lose a talent like, let's say, Chris Chu, and then you have opportunities for others to come and fill in the shoes, like Eric Salamat is being that guy this year.
And you have to think about those other guys improving. Like you've got Nico Salva, who was there, but now he's improved. You look at Eric Salamat, he's also improved. So it all really also boils down to looking at the team. And I look at Ateneo, and they have the experience factor because they won the championship and they only lost Chris Chu, unlike the other teams that
Escuela.
lost a lot of players. Jervy Cruz and the likes from USD, Rico Meyerhofer and JV Casio from LaSalle from UE. A lot of players also there left. Mark Borboran.
Let's flip the coin quickly now and talk about UP, Luigi, since we're talking about that. The future, talking about programs. Your thoughts?
Well, the thing that Coach Amboy is doing now is making the most of what he can with his players. Because not the best players want to go to the lower schools. I mentioned that. If you're in the pros, you're protected by the first round pick. Here, it's all about recruitment. And for UP, you've got the system in place. But you need some quality, talented players to go to.
And they have some players there waiting in the wings who can't wait to play next year.
Ooh, boom.
I
I'm
don't
curious.
know. I've heard. Through the grapevine. You know me, 91-72 is the score. 22 seconds remaining. And Ateneo has played so well today. They've come up with the single game record in terms of assists this season. 23 assists for Ateneo so far, and we have 22 seconds still. And again, as I mentioned, you know, UP is #1 in that department. Ateneo is #2, so not so bad for Ateneo. But 23 assists, they really shared the ball today. And you look at the box scores, you see that the wealth was spread today.
I'll tell you, Coach Norman has had strong teams, like in the PBA at San Miguel. Here with Ateneo is strong. But you know what? He built it. And then that's one thing. Another thing is to get them to play together, to share the wealth. And he has been a master of that. Even in our national team, when he coached the Philippine team, he found a way to get those individuals to play together. So far, so good.
So
But
they
it's
go
not
up.
at the end. We're just starting out the Final Four.
So they go up to 12-1 with a game remaining, and that will be the big showdown against FEU. But with this win, they secure at least a playoff for the #1 spot, just in case FEU and Ateneo get entangled with each other. That's the final score, ladies and gentlemen. 93-75. The biggest lead of the ball game was at 27 earlier on. Our Jollibee champ of the game. Big burger goodness like no other. He has established his career high today. 23 points in 25 minutes. 7 out of 10, 70% from the field. 5 assists for the former San Sebastian Staglet, Eric Salamat. We will be back to wrap this baby up.